YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today, guys, we have here the branded Chimera. Now, we did not have a really good pull a while ago on our video. So what we did is just basically dismantle some unnecessary URs that we have in our collection. Yeah, most of them are actually like useless, so that's why we can just dismantle some of them. Anyways, so this is our branded Chimera deck. Now, before you react into the 41 card deck, take note, you can just remove the Nightmare Magician and just settle with a 40 card deck. The Nightmare Magician is just an add-on that I want to play inside the branded deck because, or in the branded Chimera deck, is because it's your Baphomet is the one that can spell summon one illusion monster from your graveyard. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, it comes out from time to time, so you don't have to worry about it. But if you don't like or you can't get the Nightmare Magician, just better remove it from the deck. It's still perfectly fine. Very consistent deck. You're running the same cards like we did earlier or in the showcase. Ash Blossom Max C. You have also Cold by the Grave, Crossout, and Imperm. The additional card for this is a really good board breaker. Also is Super Poly. So this and any type of fusion deck makes this deck really good. Going first or going second, this is really nice for a board breaker. But I think that's basically it. Oh yeah, Branded Fusion is typically a one-card combo. We'll have to talk about it in a bit during the replay. With regards to our extra deck, the two cards, Mud Dragon and the Garura, are usually your targets for the Super Poly. 2 copies of Chimera, the King of Phantom Beasts, 1 copy of your Baphomet, the Mythical King, and we are just running with a copy of Illusion Beast here because, you know, might as well gonna use it on a Chimera deck. I think that's basically it for your branded cards. You have here a copy of your Albion, 1 copy of Mirror Jade, and a copy of your Rebellion, with the 1 copy of Rinbrum. Also, the best part for this new card, like the Big Wing Baphomet, is it can search out a copy of your Spring and Skit, which is a Beast Monster. So that is insanely nice for this type of a card. Other than that, we are running 2 copies of Chimera. The 1 copy of Chimera is just okay though, but for me, adding the second copy allows you to gain access to another board breaking capability during a turn if the first one is destroyed or removed from the field. And that's why the second one is really good. And I think that's basically it. Simple as it is, that is a branded deck for you, or the branded Chimera deck for you. Now, I think there are a lot of versions out there where any type of branded deck needs to be on 60 cards because that is the most, the right way to play a branded deck. But this on a 40 card deck, it's just okay though. It's very consistent. You can gain access to your cards going first or going second. You have your board breakers and of course a ton of resources from both of your fusion monsters or your main deck monsters alone. So I think that's basically it. Without further ado, I won't take up most of your time and let's go towards the replays. Alright guys, so here we are with our first replay and we're up against Unchained, I think. This is the Unchained replay. We got 1 Maxi, 1 Edge of Chain, 1 Coral, 1 copy of Sword Knight, and a copy of our Cold by the Grave. Now, we need to bait out first a copy of Ash, so that's why we'll start off with a copy of Coral here. And it doesn't really matter if it's on the field or in the graveyard for the Coral or the Sword Knight. It still uses its effect. But yeah, we use the effect of Sword Knight, tribute itself, spell summon the Baphomet to the field. We will be negated, and that's basically the end of our combo here. So typical cases or scenarios are like this, and this is the one thing that you should Ash or Imperm here. But anyways, during our opponent's turn, he'll use the effect of Abomination's Prison, getting a copy of his... what's that card again? What card did he search out? But that's 1 trap card. Regardless, he's gonna go for Sharvaras, while summoning it to the field using the Abomination's Prison that was destroyed. We'll use Ash from our draw from the Maxi. And then he's just gonna go for battle, popping our Baphomet there. Now that would be a really sad part here. If we did not get any, luckily we get a copy of Coral here. And that back row is typically the trap card that can spell summon Unchained monster. So during our turn, we normal summon our Sword Knight, tribute itself, spell summon a copy of Baphomet to the field. And then since we got a copy of Coral already in the graveyard, it's not really a big issue here. So with the Baphomet gaining access to 1 beast monster and plus the Chimera Fusion, we got a copy of our Phantom Beast to the field. Now, Phantom Beast will be Chain Link 1, And our Baphomet will be Unchained 2, spell summoning the copy of our Sword Knight from our graveyard. Mythical Claws will be activated and getting a copy of our second Kotal in case the other one is negated. So spell summon our Sword Knight to the field, and with the Chimera Fusion, we gain access to it as long as we have a Phantom Beast on the field. We'll use the effect of Chimera Fusion here and go for Guardian Chimera. Pop 2 cards, pop 1 card and then draw 2 cards is the way to go. Our guy is gonna go for Abominable Chamber of the Unchained. Special summoning a copy of Shayama on hand. And with a copy of Edge Unchained from the graveyard, we'll get a copy of our Patchwork, or Frightful Patchwork. And with that, we still have a ton of resources from our cards, and of course the Polymerization, Super Poly, and the Chimera Fusion. Now take note, this is one of the mistakes I really had because I used Super Poly here just to dish out an additional attack, which I shouldn't have, and just settled with a copy of Guardian Chimera and even the Phantom Beast on the field. I was too greedy, and this was the result. We got Nibiru, but needless to say, it's still perfectly fine because we already have a ton of resources on hand and in the graveyard, so that's still practically nice. And with that, during our opponent's turn, we'll use the effect of the King of the Phantom Beast, spell summon 1 illusion monster from our graveyard, or beast or fiend monster. Our guy's gonna go for Abominable Chamber. And I'm just gonna cold buy the copy of Sharvara here, just in case he's gonna search out a copy of Sharvara, or he has a copy of Sharvara. So we go for a Guardian Chimera from our graveyard to the field. And then our guy is gonna go for a copy of Unchained Soul of Rage. We go for Chimera Fusion, summoning the second copy of our Guardian Chimera. And with this, Chain Link 1 for Guardian Chimera, popping a copy of Soul of Rage, and Chain Link 2 for Edge Unchained, getting a copy of Patchwork Engine. Or Patchwork. But yeah, he scooped, and that is game number 1 for you guys. Alright, so game number 2, we are going up against Ignister here. So I think this is not really like a good matchup because I think he bricked on his hand. Regardless, we can still do the combo with a copy of Sword Knight to the field. So Tribute itself, spell summon the Baphomet to the field, getting a copy of Mythical Claws and a copy of Chimera Fusion. Going for Chimera Fusion again for the second time around for this gameplay, and we'll go for a copy of Phantom Beast on the field. Take note, we still have Super Poly, a second copy of Baphomet, 1 Imperm, and a copy of Maxi for our opponent. So with that, Mythical Claws, gain access to 1 illusion monster on hand, or to the hand. We could have just gone with a Nightmare Magician here, but I want to use this replay though, so that's why. But anyways, there's one replay that we actually searched out a copy of Nightmare Magician. So anyways, that is it. With the effect of, this card is really nice. Just ripping 1 card from hand like this, really insane. So we got 1 defensive monster plus card negate for the Kotal, and of course a monster negate for our Sword Knight. So that's basically it, with the Super Poly and Imperm on field plus a Maxi on hand. Really nice deck. But yeah, our guys gonna go for Cyber's Gadget. Now I did not know that he was running Ignister here, so it was pretty sad. Regardless, the dumping of Maxi was still a really good card also. So with that, use the effect of Chimera Fusion, going for Guardian Chimera, popping 2 cards on the field or in the back row. I did not like to pop the middle one because I still have Imperm in case he'll use the effect. So it's still nice. So with that, the Phantom Beast from the graveyard, we banish it, spell summoning 1 monster from our graveyard, which is the Baphomet, and then Baphomet will gain access to another beast monster plus a Chimera Fusion. So insanely good as well. But in this case, we'll go for a Spring and Skip anyways. And we got Fallen Valvas as well, so that's kind of nice. So we go for Kit, getting a copy of Branded Fusion. We spin back a copy of Chimera Fusion, and then we go for a copy of Branded Fusion. So once Lobelian is on the field, use the effect of Lobelian, and then summon our Phantom Beast to the field. So that's easy enough. There you go, and attack position. Now take note, the reason why this is on defense is because this can't attack once it's going to use its effect. But anyways, it's still good, and we still have Super Poly for our finishing blow. Sword Knight will go and attack. He's gonna use Strike. Doesn't really matter because we go for Super Poly for our last monster in the field, which is the new Chimera the Illusion Beast. So attack for 3/100, and that is game number 2. We have here 1 Ash, 1 Coral, 1 Super Poly, 1 Patchwork, and a copy of Branded Red. So not really like the best of hand here. At least if we get Max Seed, we got Ash Blossom. So like any other, we will bait out a copy of Ash first here, going a copy of Fright for Patchwork. Luckily, he has a copy and used it on a Fright for Patchwork. So with this, we are free to move, going for Coral first, dumping it to the graveyard, searching a copy of Sword Knight. Sword Knight will be used, normal summon of course, and then tributed for a copy of Baphomet to the field. Once Baphomet will be on the field, we'll gain access to the Mythical Claws and a copy of Chimera Fusion, and then use the effect of Chimera Fusion to summon our Phantom Beast to the field. Now this has 3, I think this has 3 link effects, I think, or 2, just 2. Yeah, just 2, because we just used the effect of Baphomet here. Oh wait, no, we just used the effect of Gazelle. Of course, it is 3. I did not notice that one. But anyways, like I said earlier, we got a copy of Nightmare Magician here. So we can just dump it with the help of Super Poly in case. And then summon it with the help of our Phantom Beast. But yeah, I was excited for this. Sadly, we got Harpies. So yeah, it was really sad. Not really like a big issue there. But yeah, our guy's gonna run with Snake Eyes, gonna target one of my monsters. Luckily, we have the Kotal in the graveyard. Our guy is gonna get a copy or use the effect of Subversion. Luckily, we have Ash on hand, but it's not over. He still have a lot of resources on his graveyard, of course, which is kind of annoying. But at least we ripped 1 card, which is the Field Spell, though. That's 1 strong spell card that he'll use. And he even joined a copy of Ash with that. And plus, he got a copy also of Original Sinful Spoils. So he's gonna link off for Link Koribo from Ash, going for Original Sinful Spoils, spell summoning the Oak to the field, and then Oak will be special summoning the Ash. And with that, he's gonna go for Flamberge Dragon to the field, and use the effect of Flamberge to put my monster on the back row. Needless to say, this is gonna be game over depending on the card that I drew. Luckily, the card that I drew is actually Brand Fusion. So we go for Brand Fusion, dumping a copy of Chimera to the graveyard or the Mythical Claws, plus the Fallen Valbaz, going for a copy of Rindrum. And with the copy of our Mythical Claws, we gain access to the Kotal. Kotal will be dumped to the graveyard, getting a copy of Sword Knight. Sword Knight will be normal summoned to the field. Tribute itself, going for the Baphomet. Baphomet will search out the Beast and the Chimera Fusion. And that's basically it. Really nice, and like I said, that's just 1 card combo from the Brand Fusion. But anyways, that is our game number 3. Let's go for game number 4. Okay, so for game number 4, we have 1 Maxi, 1 Fallen Valbaz, 1 Polymerization, 1 Brand Fusion, which is a really good starter, and a copy of Chimera Fusion. So let's start. We go for Brand Fusion since that's the only card that we can use, sending a copy of Mythical Claws to the graveyard plus Fallen Valbaz. With the Mythical Claws, we'll use this effect, getting a copy of Kotal to our hand. Dump the Kotal, search out a copy of Sword Knight. Normal summon the Sword Knight. And then we tribute itself for a Baphomet again. And then same old, Beast Monster plus the Chimera Fusion. And then we go for Fusion Summon our Phantom Beast. Now with this, it doesn't really matter what's on the field or what's in the graveyard. Because the Kotal still works even if it's on the field, and the Sword Knight still works as long as it's in the field or graveyard. So yeah, either way, it's still gonna work its effect if it's targeted or there's a monster effect. So that's still nice. Setting our copy of Chimera Fusion and of course Polymerization. And once I saw the copy of the screen here, I was really sudden because this is not really a good matchup for us, like Unchained. But yeah, luckily our guy is gonna go for Reinhardt Chain Link 2 so that we can negate it. And with the Chimera Fusion, we need to pop the back row, avoiding any more issues with the back row. So we go for Guardian Chimera to the field, popping 2 cards. Now I'm very confident enough that he doesn't have any Tearlaments monster on hand. Regardless, we still have Maxi though, so that's still perfectly fine. So we go for a copy of Phantom Beast, spell summoning our Baphomet from the graveyard. The dump earlier, he got a copy of Chocolates, Modora. So you spin back my monsters, and we can't do anything about it. But yeah, just pop 2 cards. Gonna go for a copy of Crime to his hand from the dump, and then go for a copy of Reinhardt to the field, plus the Scream, searching out a trap card. So luckily we have the Maxi, dumping a copy of Maxi here so that we get 1 more draw out of it. There you go, and he just added Solic. Now Solic will add 1 more card, which he'll get a copy of Sharon. Sharon will be spell summoned to the field, dumping a copy of Chimera. And then lastly, going into a copy of Time Thief Redoer. Now, I think he forgot about the effect of Ring Drum here, but I'm not sure. But I don't really like spin this back to the extra deck here. So that's why I just cancelled, or I did not spin it back. So with this, he's going to banish 2 monsters there from the Reinhardt and a copy of Visas, summoning a copy of Astraloud. Luckily, once he popped my copy of Ring Drum on the field, I can spell summon my Fallen Valbaz. So Fallen Valbaz, spell summon to the field, we can go for a copy of Mirror Jade. Now I don't want to remove his cards just yet, but instead of just ending the turn there, our guy is gonna go for a copy of Zeus, which he also used the effect. So it doesn't really matter here, it's just 1 polarization on the back row, but nevertheless, we can just use the effect of Mirror Jade for the effect of Albion, and that's basically it. A board wipe, and then our guy's still gonna settle with 1 back row, I think. There we go, getting a copy of Reinhardt, and the 1 back row it is. So Albion getting a copy of Brandon Red, and with this, we are good. So going for Kodal, getting a copy of Sword Knight normal summon. Tribute itself for a copy of our Baphomet. Baphomet search out a beast plus a Chimera Fusion. Now I have a choice going for a copy of Phantom Beast or a copy of Guardian Chimera, which I just resorted into going with the copy of Baphomet, the mythical king of Phantom Beasts. That's really a mouthful. Yeah, just because I really have a ton of resources on hand, so I just want to use them anyways. So there we go. And with that, since we have Nightmare Magician, might as well gonna use it. There we go, and then summon Guardian Chimera to the field, popping 1 card, then drawing 2 cards. And with the Baphomet, we can spell summon the Nightmare Magician from our graveyard. So there we go. Really nice animation though, I really like it. But that's basically it. So we go for battle, attack, attack, and attack. So that is our game number 4. Let's go for our last game. Okay, so for our last game, guys, we are dealing with Invoke here. So 1 Maxi, 1 Mirror Sword Knight, 1 Patchwork, 1 Call by the Grave, and a copy of Crossout here. So that's good. So let's start going for a copy of Sword Knight here. Then spell summoning. Luckily, I don't want to go for Call by the Grave here because I have my own Maxi on hand. So might as well gonna go for Crossout Designator. It's not really like the best of choice, but I really need Maxi during the next turn. So there we go. Sword Knight is gonna be activated. Spell summoning the Baphomet into the field, and then we can go with a copy of Chimera Fusion +1 Beast Monster, which is the Mythical Claws. And with that, go for Chimera Fusion. Spell summoning the Phantom Beast to the field, and then chainlink 1 Chimera, chainlink 2 our Baphomet. Special summoning our Sword Knight to the field, and with the Mythical Claws, searching another Illusion Monster, which is the Kodal. So since we don't have a Kodal in the graveyard, we must have or dump into the graveyard and get a copy of Sword Knight for our follow-up next turn. And with this, ending our turn, we go for a copy of Fight for Patchwork, getting a copy of Edge and Chain for additional counters for Guardian Chimera. Use the effect of Chimera Fusion, add it back to our hand, and set it with a Call by the Grave. Ending our turn, dumping a copy of Crane on the end turn. Our guy's gonna go for Seeker here, getting a copy of Diablo Star. Going for Terror Top. Luckily, we can just negate with a copy of Sword Knight here. So we don't want to search out a copy of another Speed Droid here. So he's gonna go for tributing the Terror Top, going for Diablo Star to the field, and then our guy's gonna go for Subversion here. Luckily, we still have the Colo in the graveyard, and luckily I did dump it for that purpose. So we pop that. Our guy's gonna spin back one more card. Go for a copy of Chimera Fusion. And going for Guardian Chimera. And then with that, Chain Link 1, Guardian Chimera, pop 1, draw 2, and then Edge him Chain. So that's basically how it is with the game. It's really nice. I really like the new Guardian Chimera. There is another version for 60 cards, though. Tell me in the comment section below if you want it. But anyways, that's the end of the video. Keep safe, good luck. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully we can tackle Altar Guys if it's kind of good with the current meta. Alright guys, so goodbye.